Hello my gorgeous ones, welcome to Alicia Budget Beauty. My name is Alicia. Here on my channel, I love affordable fashion and beauty. I do hauls, tutorials, reviews, all sorts of fun stuff. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe, stick around, be a friend. All right, you guys, today I'm really excited. I'm finally testing out some products from a brand I've always been very, very curious about, and the brand is Alter Ego. If you haven't heard of them, well, I've seen a lot of people talk about them, like Jen Phelps and I believe Vianney Strick, and this is a brand that primarily does a lot of inspired palettes. So not necessarily spot on dupes, but inspired palettes from brands like Natasha Denona and ABH. And I personally, this is my own opinion, I think that there is a place for a brand like this. I don't think that it is ethically wrong. That is just my opinion. The packaging's different, the name's different, the layout's different. It's just inspired. We have this all over the place, especially in the fragrance world. No one ever seems to get upset that there are dupes and inspired fragrances like crazy in the fragrance community in the world. But they get a little bit upset sometimes about the makeup. And I think it is completely fine to have much more affordable options for those who either can't afford the more expensive ones or those who just choose to spend less money on their makeup. So Alter Ego very kindly sent over some items to me. Let me show you guys. So we have the Sahara palette. Now this is the Natasha Denona Biba inspired palette. This is stunning. This is really gorgeous. Like, I'm really excited about that one. Then we have the Midsummer palette. So this is inspired by ABH Nuevo palette. Much more like dusty greens, cool tones in here. And then we have the Sakura palette, which is inspired by Natasha Denona's Retro Glam palette. Now, as you can see, the layout in this is different than the Natasha Denona. You actually have these like monochromatic rows in here, which I think is really smart. They also sent over to me these lashes. These are in the style Hipster. And then we have an eyeshadow primer base. And then also this liquid lip here in the shade Crush. Now, what I'm going to do today is I'm first going to dip into the Sahara palette because I've already had somewhat of a day going on. So I already have some makeup. I have a lip. I'm not going to pair the lip that Alter Ego sent with this look because I just think that this would go really nicely together. The next two looks I do with the other two palettes, I'll go ahead and use their lashes and their lip. But for now, let's go ahead and dip into Sahara and see just how good this formula is. All right, you guys, I did put on the primer. The texture of the primer is pretty like moisturizing feeling. It's not one of those real matte full coverage primers. I typically prefer more of the matte full coverage, but we're gonna see how this works when I start laying down the shadows. Now, man, there's so many pretty browns to grab in here, and I feel like there's no repeats as well, which is really helpful. I think I'm gonna go in with plains or no. Yes, I'm gonna go with plains and kind of put that in this cream. Ooh, okay. We've got some good pigment here. That is a gorgeous, like, kind of caramel shade. That is really pretty. Okay, I'm impressed with that first bit of pigment. And yes, I do already have lashes on and liner. Sometimes you guys will see me do that. I know several of you already have in the past if you've seen my videos. And I did have someone ask once, like, if I always do that, and the answer is no. Most of the time I don't, but sometimes just depending on the time of day that I'm filming, for me, it's convenient because I've already been doing stuff today. And this is the time I have to actually do my eyeshadow while I already have on lashes and liner. And I'll probably mess up the liner putting on the shadow, but I'm gonna use this black and just kind of go back over it. All right, that is super beautiful, actually. Okay, next, what do I want to go into next? I think I'm gonna take Sierra right here. I'm just gonna use the same brush and start laying that down on the outer lid. Okay, these are very, very nicely pigmented and already really blend together really nicely. It's pretty impressive, honestly. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of run that into there. Very, very nice. Okay, next I'm gonna go in, I think with Adobe, that one. Still using the same brush. May not seem that professional here, but what I'm thinking, sometimes I do different brushes, different techniques with different palettes, and I'm thinking, okay, who would I recommend these palettes to? I mean, honestly, right now, based upon how they're performing, I'd say anyone. But say it's someone who, like, they've always wanted the Natasha Denona, and they're not like a super makeup like enthusiast, or they don't collect makeup, and maybe they don't spend forever on their makeup either, then I would probably recommend these palettes. And then I'm just doing a look like if they didn't have a ton of brushes, like how does that work? So far, like, that's super nice. Okay, let's see. I think I'm gonna take now, though, I said I'm using the same brush, and I'm gonna use a different brush for this. I'm gonna take this littler brush and go into Fox right here. And I'm just gonna really get that in the crease. I'm very, very impressed right now with how these blend. Like, I'm not getting patchiness. It's pretty impressive. Okay, very impressed. All right, next let's go in with Raven, and I'm gonna take a skinnier brush and I'm gonna put that on the lower lash line, on the outer portion. This is a perfect lower lash. I like a dark lower lash most of the time. Sometimes I'll do a bright one, but I do like a deep one. And then I'm gonna take Canyon, slightly lighter shade, and run that in the inner. That's a really, really, really pretty brown, like a milk chocolate. Okay. All right, now it is the shimmer test. So there's only 3 shimmers in here. You don't get a lot, but just to maximize in using them, I'm gonna try bronze first, the deepest one in here. I'm gonna put that more on the outer. That's pretty. Well, yeah, that's pretty. It's not the most sparkly, or even like metallic. It's just a really nice, shiny shimmer. Very, very pretty though. Very pretty. Very smooth as well, if you're worried about texture. And then Mirage, this is the next one. I'm going to put right here more in the inner. That's, oh, okay, wow. That's even more, you guys, what? That is so pretty. Okay, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. All right, and then the lightest jewel right here. I'm gonna take that and just do a little inner corner pop. Ooh, okay. Super pretty. Wow, you guys, that is a gorgeous glam eye. Okay, let me do the other eye and come right back. All right, you guys, this is the look with Sahara. You guys, I'm like really, really, really impressed. Okay, I mean, I've seen good reviews of these palettes, but now I think I get it. I mean, I've only tried the first one, but I get it. I did end up using Mesa, that black, to kind of go back over the liner. And I think that it was really, really opaque. So I think it's a really good black shadow. I didn't get to play with these more taupey shades, but I have a feeling that they work really, really well. So you could do something cooler tone down here. Okay, so far, so good. But now we have to test out the other two, and I'll also do the lashes and the lip. Okay, so day 2, I did go ahead and put the lipstick on in Crush. So here it is, it's a liquid lipstick. I think this color is really, really pretty. Definitely more of a spring, summer color than fall. And okay guys, you may be like, why does she look different? I took my wings off. You guys, okay. Something I've already discovered about this palette, it is very, very powdery. There's lots of kick up. You guys also will see, this is why I do wings. Like, how weird do my eyes look like without wings? Okay, lots of kick up. So it was bad. Not that the shadows are bad, I'm not saying that yet. It's just that like the wings turn like powdery and strange. So I'm going to go in with a different route as well. So I'm taking a flat brush and I'm going to pack instead of like blend. I'm just gonna go in and pack on. You guys, this is not pigmented like the other one. I mean, Sahara was awesome. This one is so different. It is extremely powdery, extremely, and not very pigmented at all. Now I will say, I saw my friend Steph's Beauty Stash. She used this palette and really liked it, but I mean, I haven't gotten to the shimmers, maybe the beauties and the shimmers. These mattes, I'm not having the easiest time with. Okay, that's the deepest shade in here, really. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with Sky. See what happens here. Okay, that's a little bit more pigmented. That's actually really pretty. That's like just a pretty pastel. I feel like I look absolutely insane. Now I'm going in with pale without the wings and just with liner. I never do things this way, you guys. Oh, this is just one of those days. This is one of those days. I had something I had to do before this and just needed to be able to put on some makeup, and I didn't like put on lashes or anything. And so I was like, oh, I'll just do my wings, do a little mascara and liner, and then I'll do this shadow and put on the false lashes. And let's see, now I'm gonna go in with Spring. And, but come to find out, this is so powdery, this formula, that it did not work at all with some wings. This has no pigment either. You guys, that first palette was awesome. This one is, I don't know. I don't know if I can make this work, to be honest. I have to be honest. It doesn't matter if I got in PR, I have to be honest. Okay, Petal. We are gonna try to run that along here. This is one of the most powdery palettes I have ever used in my life. Like ever. Okay, because I don't like that there's no depth here, I am going to use one of these shimmers. I'm gonna use Plum. Let's see. Looks like this. Lush looks like this. Those are, I mean, these, I think it just must be these shimmers are the better bet. Wait, is that a matte? Okay, maybe, I think Groove is actually a matte and I didn't realize. So let me, I thought that was a shimmer. Okay, let me use that and try to kind of deepen this up a little bit. I hope this is one of those looks that after I put my wings back on and the lashes, that it comes together. We shall definitely see. That helps deepen it a little bit, but not a ton. Not a ton of pigment with groove. I mean, I guess this is building up some. That's looking a little bit better. Sort of. All right, I'm going to use, these shimmers do look kind of pretty. There's this one right here. How about, I think I'm gonna go in with Twinkle and set that, oh no, wait. You guys, I don't know about this palette. The first one was so good. I'm not as crazy about this one. Okay, I'm gonna go in with Fair. I'm trying to use several of these to see. Okay, that one's better. Brighter, shinier. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with Radiant, the lighter one. Oh, let's see. Okay. It's not bad either. That'd be pretty in the inner corner, actually, I think. Shimmers don't look too bad. Then, let's see. This is what Cherry looks like. I wonder if that's too, okay. Actually, Prime, that one looks like a really good inner corner. So let's do that one. It's just kind of, I don't know. I'm struggling with this look. All right. You guys, I think I'm ready to get off this palette, except for I think I will go in with Hazy right here. And no, you know what? No. I'm gonna go with Plum, and I'm gonna try to deepen this up on the bottom. You guys, this is one of the worst looks I've ever done in my life. Like, do I even keep this in? Do I scratch it? I feel like I need to be honest and show it to you guys. So I guess I will keep it in, but it's a struggle. Okay, I'm gonna put on the lashes that they sent over, the liner, maybe it'll look better. Stay tuned. Okay, you guys, so off camera, I tried to build it up some more. I tried to salvage it by putting some cool liner on. I do have on the lashes in Hipster. They're okay. I don't know if they're my favorite style. Okay, I think it looks better than it did. I will say, let's start positive. The shimmers in here are pretty nice. Like Fair is really, really beautiful, and Radiant, I was able to build that up, and I think that looks gorgeous. The mattes in here, I just do not like. They're way too powdery. I just don't want to have to work that hard. This palette is $20, but honestly, like, I had to work too hard on this to pay $20 for this. So second palette, maybe not so much. That first palette was excellent. Like, that first palette could be a $40 palette. This one, not so much, but I think I was able to sort of create a good look. You guys will have to let me know. This was a journey. So hopefully this next palette will be as good as the first. So let's get ready for look number 3. All right, you guys, we're on our final palette, the Midsummer palette. And I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I didn't put the primer on. I'm just gonna see, even though I used the primer in the first look with Sahara and I loved it, I'm just gonna see what this does without the primer to make sure that wasn't the issue yesterday. So I think I am going, also I'm switching my brushes. The brushes that I was using yesterday, I'm not used to using all the time. So I'm going back to like tried and true brushes for me. So I'm gonna take Solstice right here. A little bit of kick up again, or quite a bit of kick up. And I'm just gonna put that, okay, already this has better pigment. Now I'm kind of questioning yesterday if it was like an oily lid issue with the primer or the brushes, or if that palette really was just not as good, because right away I'm like, okay, pigment, like this one's great. So, I mean, I'm only dipped into one, but compared to yesterday's mattes, I'm already liking this better. I do have on the same lashes, and then also the liquid lip that I had on yesterday from Alter Ego. Okay. All right, then next I am going to go in with Tuscan right here, and I'm just gonna use the same brush. Lay that down. This one really is like pretty close to my skin tone, this shade. Maybe like a little more mauve-y. Actually, it's starting to show up, and it does blend really, really nicely into that Solstice shade. Okay, so far so much better than yesterday. All right, then I want to do Meadow, this green. I'm trying to think if I want to still, yeah, I'm gonna still use this brush just since we're having luck so far. Okay. And even though there's kick up in the pan like crazy like yesterday, I don't feel like it's falling all over my face or all over my lashes like yesterday's palette. That is a really, really, really pretty green. Honestly, I have tons of greens in my collection. And I mean, I'd have to go look. I'm sure I have ones close to this, but it is kind of a grungy green, but just a little unique to what I already own. Just gonna kind of blend that into the crease here. Already so much better. All right, the only shade I haven't used other than this purple is Vanilla, and I don't know that I need to do much with that. Let's just kind of put that right here in the, yeah, that's really, really light. That's a good shade for like, if you want to lighten up a deeper shade, kind of like erase your lines. That's a good shade for that. All right, lower lash. What are we gonna do in the lower lash? I think I'm just gonna go back in with Meadow because I really like this green and I think it will look good with the outside of the eye being the same shade. Okay, this is making me so much happier. Like this is performing like the first palette did, at least the mattes are. Oh my gosh, look at this one here. Okay, this is driving me crazy. All right. Yeah, I like that a lot. Since this is smaller, I'm just gonna kind of go in there and even that out some. Okay, awesome, so pretty. Okay, now for shimmers, what do we want to do? Okay, here's what Tempest looks like. Festival, that's pretty. Pollen, Dew. Ooh, I like Dew. It's kind of silvery. Then we have Glare and Camp. Oh my, these are really, really pretty. You're like really pretty. That is Mean Girls, by the way, if you don't know, for some reason. I'm gonna go in with Pollen, I think. And, oh gosh, I don't even have it on the eye. What am I doing? I was about to put it on my blank eye. I'm going crazy. I was just talking to my friend, Sarah, and I had sent her what my thumbnail was gonna look like for my fragrance declutter because she's my fragrance guru. and she said like, you look really pretty. And I was like, I just read that in Regina George voice. So that is still on my mind. Mean Girls is a classic. Okay. That is super pretty. Whoa, I'm so much happier with this one. Okay, I think I'm gonna do Camp right here. I really wanted to use all these shimmers, but I'm not gonna be able to. Oh, that is so pretty. Man, this is so much better than yesterday. Okay, love that. I really wanted to do the lavender in the inner corner. Let me just do that to see what it would look like, but then I think I'm still gonna put it, oh, that actually shows up pretty well. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it does show up pretty well. It's like pigmented purple. Oh, that's so pretty. But I do wanna do like a shimmer on top of it. I'm gonna do Dew. That's that one that was kind of silvery. So let's just, I can't ever get in with that angle. I'm gonna do this pinky. It's kind of hard to see it on top of the purple, but I think this shade would be really, really pretty on the lid. Okay. I'm so much more impressed with this palette, and that lavender, even though it's more of a pastel, really, really showed up. You know what I'm gonna do? I am going to get Sakura out again, and I'm just gonna see. Swatching these today on my fingers, these mattes look a lot more pigmented than yesterday. I feel kind of bad now. I think it might have been me yesterday, to be honest. Yeah, that swatches, I mean, it's a little powdery. It's still not like super pigmented, but like build up seems like it could be easier than it was yesterday. So that might have been my fault. I've got to give it credit. That might have been my fault. And that's, you know, I'm not going to redo this video and then like, oh, show you it looks like better, you know, than what I did yesterday with this one, because I'd rather you see we make mistakes sometimes, or like it is trial and error, no matter how much you do your makeup. Sometimes you just use the wrong brushes or the wrong primer. So I'm gonna actually say that this palette is not as bad as I thought it was yesterday, just based off of that. But let me go ahead and finish this eye and wrap up all my thoughts on the Alter Ego palettes, lipstick, and lashes. All right, you guys, so both eyes are now done, and here's my thoughts. Okay, I think out of all of them, just color story-wise and everything, I just love this palette. I mean, I know it's neutral. I love that you have warm tones, cool tones in here. This is a great everyday like fall palette for sure for neutrals. Performed amazing. Then we have the infamous Sakura palette that I've decided I think I don't like the eye primer. If you remember at the beginning, I said the consistency of it is very like, it's kind of a wet feeling. It doesn't dry down all the way. It's not like an opaque matte primer. I think it did not pair well with this palette. So now I'd like to play with this one more. Maybe I'll do another look on like either TikTok or Instagram to see if I can, you know, really confirm my suspicions that that was just the primer yesterday. But I do think this color story is pretty. I think this would be really, really pretty for spring. And then Midsummer is a close runner-up to the Sahara. I really like the tones in here. I really love the shimmers. These mattes blended perfectly together. So I do highly recommend that one. This one's only $18, 20 and 20. I think these are worth that amount, absolutely. And then the liquid lipstick. I don't know that this is my favorite shade on myself. I do like the formula though. It stays put, transfer proof pretty much, maybe like a tiny bit. You know, it is a liquid lipstick, so it's not the most like nourishing feeling, but I don't feel like it's overly drying either. So I'd probably like to try a different shade. The lashes, like I said, these aren't exactly my favorite style of lashes, but they're comfortable. Was able to wear them a couple of times. So overall, I'm a fan of Alter Ego. I think that if you are looking for alternatives to the higher end palettes and you just can't afford those bigger price tags, I think these are a great option for you guys. They perform really well. I'm excited to try more, and I really thank them for sending these over, letting me try them. Thanks for sticking with me with the craziness that was the Sakura palette yesterday. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and as always, have fun shopping. Budget shopping. Bye.